Thank you, Commander. American Legion Post Commander Rich Johnson, VFW Post Vice Commander Tony Roberti, Father David Ryan, Village Board members present, Trustee Jim Bedoin, John Sprocka, Mark Spicone, Greg Wider, and Village Clerk Kathleen Johnson, Lake Zurich Police Chief Steve Husak, retired Army Colonel Roman Golash, assembled veterans, current military, and residents and families of Lake Zurich. Good morning and welcome to Lake Zurich and today's Memorial Day ceremony. Thank you for attending. Before I get into my officials' duties, how about the Lake Zurich High School Band? They're out here every Memorial Day, rain, sleet, snow, and sometimes in sweltering heat. You'll hear more from them in a bit. Thank you, high school. I am again honored to be with you this morning as we reflect upon and remember our fallen service members and the sacrifices that they and their families have made on behalf of our country. Memorial Day is a day of reflection and remembering the men and women who died while serving. And the usual theme of Memorial Day is remember. Memorial Day is a day of reflection and remembering the men and women who died while serving, and this day is no different. This is my 5th Memorial Day as mayor. It's also the 5th time I've stood up here at the podium on Memorial Day. This year, though, coming up with a new speech was a bit of a struggle. What more can be said about Memorial Day that hasn't already been said? I needed some inspiration. So the other day, as I was spinning the dial searching for some music while driving, I came upon the song War. This was a song that was first recorded by the Temptations, but became a mega hit when recorded by Edwin Starr in 1970. I'm reasonably sure that many of you have heard it. I'd sing the opening line, but I'll spare myself that embarrassment. A lot of songs are written during times of war, and the Vietnam War was no different. This was one of those songs. Some songs were pro-war and some were anti-war. Some of the lyrics of war make it obvious that this was meant to protest the war, especially the lines that say, "War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing." Most of us don't get past that opening line. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. How many know the rest of the lyrics? Probably not many. The rest of the song attempts to negatively portray war by focusing on things that are lost during or because of war. There are several sections of the song that really stand out, like this part that says, "Oh, war I despise, because it means destruction of innocent lives. War means tears to thousands of mothers' eyes when their sons go off to fight and lose their lives. War, it ain't nothing but a heartbreaker. War, friend only to the undertaker. Oh, war is an enemy to all mankind. The thought of war blows my mind. War has caused unrest within the younger generation, induction, then destruction. Who wants to die?" This powerful section of the song carries a lot of emotion. It allows the listener to imagine the pain that a mother feels when she loses her son. It reminds us that many lives are lost in war, and not only that, but there are many more people who are left mourning for their loved ones. War, what is it good for? Remember. This song is not in support of the foreign policies that were in place during the Vietnam War, and this can be seen in the lines, "They say we must fight to keep our freedom, but Lord knows there's got to be a better way." These lines indicate that the song did not support either the Truman Doctrine, which stated that the United States would aid countries which were threatened by communism, or the domino theory, which theorized that if one country fell into communism, a domino effect would occur, causing many other countries to fall into communism. The line that says, "We must fight to keep our freedom," is referring to the fact that many believed we had to fight the war in Vietnam to prevent communism from spreading to the United States, And the song disputes this logic with the line, "But Lord knows there's got to be a better way." The song answers the question, how does war affect the individual, with the lines, "War has shattered many a young man's dreams, made him disabled, bitter, and mean." These lines talk about how a soldier can be changed by war both mentally and physically. Some could argue that the war has many benefits. I believe that none of those benefits can overpower the negative aspects of war. I'm not a total pacifist, but I believe that there are better ways to resolve many of the issues that war causes. These other ways might be troublesome and hard to imagine, but if there is a way to prevent the loss of lives and the pain that war brings to many, then we must try to find another way. I do believe that we should fight for our freedom, but I also believe that there has to be another way to do so without causing so much death, pain, and suffering. 58,479 warriors never returned from Vietnam. Remember. Today, we can take time to reflect upon some of the issues that continue to affect many of our nation's veterans. We've all heard that phrase, freedom isn't free. Since 1776, it's actually cost us more than 1.3 million lives. That's not free, that's a real cost. A real cost to all of you spouses, all of you sons and daughters, brothers and sisters, boyfriends and girlfriends. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Remember. So while we veterans are joined in a bond of brotherhood and sisterhood, I also embrace all the mothers and fathers, sisters and daughters, lovers and friends who stood strong for their soldiers while they answered a call that most couldn't hear. You too are part of that extended family of service. Those who have served and those who have loved those who have served need no reminder about the cost of freedom. It's a cost paid in full by those few who stand with us today and those who no longer stand with us but are forever living in our memory. War, good God, y'all, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Where once our mission was to serve, today our mission is reflection and remembrance. Your presence here today and that of the people gathering all across America is a tribute to those lost troops and to their families. Remember. While we are here, let's take a moment to remember the brave men and women of our police, fire, and rescue departments, our first responders who gave their lives in the line of duty so that we could be here today. On behalf of the families, all the families of Lake Zurich, I wish to thank all of the veterans and their families here today, all of the local veterans who could not attend today, and all of our local sons and daughters presently serving in the military. I extend our sincerest gratitude and thanks for your sacrifices as you make our country a better place for all of us. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed the weekend, but I hope you pause to reflect and remember America's veterans have earned our lasting gratitude. Freedom is not free. Thanks to all of you for remembering and letting me be part of your remembrance today. As the only veteran on the Lake Zurich Village Board, I can tell you that I remember.